Hi, my name is Balfour Wong, and you're listening to the Bluhdhaven podcast. You can catch the podcast every Wednesday at bluhdhaven.com, as well as Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Enjoy the show! Hello everybody, and welcome to the Bluhdhaven podcast, episode number 51. As always, I'm your host, Balfour Wong. Joined with me today is Buddy Mills.
Hello there.
So it's just the two of us today on this kind of chilly Tuesday evening.
It's funny you mention that because I got up around 12:30. I went to go use the bathroom, and my dad always likes to go outside and just check the weather and everything. Because it's like a warm, it looks like winter outside, but it's a warm day. And out of nowhere, my mom's like, "It's a Tuesday." It's like, what?
What does that even mean?
I don't know either, but it was funny as shit.
You're like, haha, it's a Tuesday. No, actually, it's really because, as you know, I work outside, so it's a nice change of pace for me to just be surrounded by clouds.
Oh, I can imagine.
But it's still, I was so flippin' hot. Like, even though it looked like it should have been colder, it was so fucking hot outside. I was like, what the fuck? It's not fair. That's the one thing I hate about, and I know a lot of people who live in Arizona love it, but I hate it. I hate that we're in November. Like, we're past the midpoint of November, and it's still so freaking hot outside. Mm-hmm. It's not fair. But this week, something really cool came out was Disney Plus. No, was it this week or last week? Has it been 2 weeks?
I don't keep track of days anymore.
Everything's so confusing to me. No, this has to be the second week. Mm-hmm. Because when we recorded, I was telling Edwin about The Mandalorian. Mm-hmm. But for the past week, me and B have just been watching all Disney all the time. Dude, we like skimmedly watched the new Kim Possible movie. It's so bad.
When I showed trailers for it and everything way back when, it did not look good at all.
I wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt. I was hoping that it'd be, like cheesy fun.
You were lied to.
I was totally lied to. Dude, they ruined her character.
I can imagine.
Freaking, instead of a cheerleader, she becomes a soccer player.
The fuck?
Right? The coach who was like that. What was his name?
Bulldog or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. What was his name?
Barker.
Yeah, Coach Barker. He's like a really fat like science coach.
Bald.
Yeah, balding science coach. Yeah, it was really weird. And the biggest offense for me was that they changed the way that Ron and Rufus meet. Like Ron just goes into like this sciencey looking thing. And like it's just a mole rat that's just like running around. He's like,
wasn't it like what, didn't it? Oh no, that's not how this.
There is a song about how they met. Mm-hmm. It's essentially he only could get a mole rat because his dad was allergic to every other animal.
Yep.
But I will say the best part of that movie,
quote unquote,
was the actor who played Ron. Like his voice was like that really annoying high pitched like, "Hey Kim."
Okay. It tried to.
Yeah, he was actually really good. I give him credit for that.
All right, fair.
And Dr. Draken's outfit was on point. But do yourselves a favor and like just skip every scene if you're gonna watch it.
So just don't watch the movie. Okay, got it.
Yeah. And then the ending was really weird. It ended in a way where like Draken was a baby, but it was almost as if they're setting up a sequel.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't know where a Terminator just busts through the door like, come on, claw, And
then like the effects made no sense to me because there was a lot of scenes that just looked horrible. Like that they just did it really quickly. Mm-hmm. But then like Shigo's superpowers, like her her green energy beams, looked fucking awesome.
You can tell where the budget went to.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, all right, that's just sad. Yeah, no, that was one of the many movies that we've watched over the past 2 weeks. What's one of your favorite Disney Channel movies?
Oh, if I really have to put I think it would probably be Recess Schools. No, that's not even a fucking Disney.
It is Disney.
Oh yeah, Recess Schools Out.
Schools Out.
Yeah, I remember that. It was a great movie.
That actually came out in theaters.
Yeah. I remember that.
My mom took me for that one, and that is one of my favorite movies. Is that the one where you find out that Spinelli's real name is Ashley?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if for Disney, yes. But if we're talking Pixar, it's Toy Story 100% all the way.
Really? That's your favorite Pixar film?
Because I remember when Blockbuster was still a thing. For all you people who don't know who that is, well, look it up.
Rest in peace.
That's the movie I would always rent as a kid.
Huh.
It was just like, you know what? I'll buy it for you, and I got it on VHS. It was like, this is awesome, and I had the game, and I had the game and everything.
The first one?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
For the computer, where like you played as Woody.
Yeah. My god.
It was weird. It was. I mean, it was fun at the time. Now looking back at it, I'm going, why did I enjoy this? And then it was the Toy Story 2 game where like you play as Buzz.
I played the shit out of Toy Story 2. I remember getting Toy Story 2 for the 64.
Oh, okay.
And I played through that all the time. It was so much fun.
I was too young still at the time to really understand the game, but it was still fun.
Yeah, me and my brother actually played through it not too long ago, actually.
Oh.
When we were living together, we were like, we're just going to play through it all the way through without even saving. Because if I remember correctly, I think you needed to have a Rumble pack in order to save.
I think
on the 64. Because I remember that was some of the, like, Perfect Dark Zero, you had to have the expansion, like the Rumble pack. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of games that were like that you needed extra accessories to access.
Which was very weird.
It was weird, but I mean, it made sense.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I think because like it was like this little red cartridge that you put in the front of your console. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure it was just extra memory. That way they can run the game.
Yeah. It's like with the with the GameCube with their little memory cards that they had that you stuck into the console itself.
Oh yeah, in the front.
I remember I thought it was cool because we got one, and then I remember it was either gifted to me or to my parents was Animal Crossing.
Oh god.
And it actually came with like a Animal Crossing like memory card.
Memory card. I remember that was a big thing that like themed memory cards.
Yeah.
Because I remember they did that.
And I'm glad I still have it.
With the PlayStation 2, like with the PlayStation 2 memory sticks, it was like you can get like the see-through ones or the blue ones.
Yeah.
What a weird time. Even the 360 had memory cards.
Yeah, I remember that.
God, that's baffling to me that we've gone through that far. Like we had memory cards just to play video games, and like now it's all cloud storage.
Cloud storage, and if you want, you want that extra boost, it's like SSDs. It's like okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's nuts to me.
It is really.
It's the future.
Anyways.
Now I'm really bummed though because I mean we just played it this past weekend, but I had to re-download Destiny 2. Which, goddamn, I love the game, but I'm so mad that I had to re-download it.
Yeah, because it's
but
huge.
It's so fucking pretty on the computer.
It really is. That I'll give it credit to. Like especially when we were on Titan and you just see everything in the background.
Yeah,
that was good.
It's such a pretty game. If there are any of our listeners who played Destiny, message me on my social media accounts because I have it on all of my consoles.
Yeah, he does.
I'm a Destiny whore. Leave me alone. It's just fun. Plus, I want to be able to get enough people set up. That way we can do raids and stuff. That way I can yell at everybody.
Exactly. So please, I don't want to get yelled at anymore, people.
I'm like, I yell at people when we're in strikes.
That is true. You do. Oh my god.
Can you blame me when I'm the one person who goes around reviving everybody constantly?
No. That's why,
You know, to be fair, though, you've gotten a lot better about that, though. When we were playing in the past with
sucked.
Other people. Oof.
I sucked.
Oof.
The best thing was like, hey, here's like a freaking, what is it, healing aura. It's like, okay, cool, death.
It's like, how did you die?
I don't want to talk about it. But
I'd just be like, all right, buddy, give me a second.
Yeah, then now I've gotten a little bit better. It's like, all right, shield, I'm going to go over here. You enjoy this. Yeah,
I also think, I mean, to be honest, like the classes really, really do matter, especially when we're doing like player versus environment stuff. So it's been fun seeing you play the Titan because I feel like a Titan fits your class more, like fits you more based on your play style.
Okay.
Because warlocks are more like passive and Whereas you're like,
yeah, when I was a warlock, I was just like Palpatine everything. That dude, and that was like my moment of like shining and then in death.
Yeah.
But at least with Titans, yeah. Well, at least as well too, the controls and everything else it transfers over if you played warlock and everything. Like,
yeah, I mean,
such as timing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, especially with the jumps.
So many close calls that one game.
Buddy is notorious for almost falling in every single platform section of the game.
Listen, you have no proof of this.
I mean, I have many recordings that you don't know about, but you know. Cough, cough.
You'll be hearing from my lawyer.
Oh gosh. But yeah, if you guys have, if any of you guys out there play Destiny 2, let me know because I want to.
He's lonely.
I want to get back into it. I'm not lonely. I don't have time to play anymore.
No, I know. I'm just fucking with you.
But yeah, if you guys don't have it, it's actually free to play on every console. So
yeah.
And if you need help, I can bum rush you through it. Which we still got to go through a lot for your character. Because you started a new character, which means you have to play through the entire campaign.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got 2 new characters. I was like, I already got a Warlock, so I'll now make a Hunter and a Titan.
You didn't connect your account?
Yeah, well, that's why the Warlock is there. I transferred over, and now I made 2 extra characters.
Gotcha, now I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have all 3 of mine. I think all 3 of them have gone through Forsaken.
Yeah, those 2 haven't gone through Forsaken. Warlock has.
Forsaken's so good.
That's why...
I don't want to go through Forsaken with you because I don't want to cry.
No, it's fine. Time. No, it's okay.
I'm going to, but I don't want. I'm not prepared to cry again. It's so sad.
It is heart wrenching. Their best character is now dead.
Why'd you got to bring it up? Such a sore.
I don't know. Maybe there's something in the works where it's like he comes back. You never know.
Well, see, and that's the thing that I'm hoping for.
Of course, yeah.
Because he's an EXO and like EXOs get rebooted and stuff, but. I don't know. I want them to kill off, like...
Ikora?
No, I like Ikora. Ikora's okay in my book. I want them to kill Zavala, because Zavala's a dick. Like, the campaign, he's like, he was fine. But, like, when Forsaken came out, Zavala was like, no, we don't need to revenge anybody. He was just our comrade, and now he's fallen. We must move on. And then, like, in the middle of the campaign, he's just like... we need to go revenge him. It's like, motherfucker, you can't have it both ways.
That's fair. We won't go there.
Nah, but I think Ikora strangely has one of the best developments as a character, in my opinion. Just because, like, after like the whole Curse of Osiris thing, it just made me more interested and more like involved with her character. I think the problem that I have with Zavala is like, even with the new expansions, they really haven't expanded on his character much.
Yeah.
Because like even in the first game with the oh crap, what are they called? It was with the wolf people. I can't remember the third or the second expansion in one, but like he was like, oh yeah, I know all about them, and then like he wasn't even there. So I just think they need to focus a little bit more story on his character for me to be like, all right, now I care.
You might laugh at me for this, and you can judge me all you want. It's fine because when I downloaded Destiny, transferred my Warlock, and I was like, I'll try the Titan. And it took me till I played on the computer. I was like, oh, wow, the characters are the classes, such as Zavala's a Titan. Oh, my God. Ikora's a Warlock, and Cade was a fucking Hunter. It took me that fucking long. Oh, my God. You can judge me. It's fine. I judged myself, and the person I was in Discord with, like, talked about it, and he goes, you're special, aren't you? I'm like, yep.
Yeah, well, to be fair, you didn't play the first game.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
So you didn't know that, like, they are the fire team, like, the fire team.
Yeah.
For, like, Earth or whatever. Or the Vanguard.
Yeah.
So I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that, like, you weren't able to understand that. But, when Cade goes... hey, I'm going to shoot you, and has a hand cannon, and then he goes gold. It's like, okay, I can assume that he's a hunter. Nah, but it's really good. I know a lot of people are just like, what the fuck are they talking about? But it's a good game. But have you been reading the stuff about Death Stranding?
Well, It depends. Are you talking about the bad shit or the good shit?
I just mean in general.
Well, everyone's. It seems to have divided a lot of people.
Yeah, I see a lot of mixed reviews.
Yeah, like I remember one of them because I mostly get a lot of my stuff from Twitter now. That's usually where I go to for like anything.
I honestly think Twitter's the best place to get a general consensus on stuff, just because it's very bipolar in terms of like the opinions that you get about a lot of subjects.
One of them was basically called Death Stranding, like an 18-hour movie.
Oh God.
Yeah, well, like without having to do like all the other stuff and everything, just straightforward. It's just like or 18 hours of cutscenes. That's really all the game was. It's like, damn.
Yeah, but it's a Kojima game. They're bitching about that. Like, did they ever play any of the Metal Gear games?
Yeah, remember, this is the American audience we're talking about
fair.
here. It's just like, for like an example would be like...
we need more explosions.
Like Sonic. For the American groups, for like Dr. Robotnik, he was called Eggman.
Right.
So it's just like not a lot of things transfer over from
Japanese audience to American.
Yeah, or just mostly a lot of things that are considered international. When it comes to America,
they gotta like dumb it down, like real hard for Americans to be like, ooh, that's cool.
Basically,
which is a shame. I mean, we were talking about it last week, like with Hideo Kojima, even like putting Americans on blast, being like, oh, because it's not an FPS game, it's not going to be successful in America.
Because at that time, everyone was talking about COD.
Yeah, COD. There was another FPS, wasn't there? During his announcement of Death Stranding, I know there's like two. Didn't Battlefield? Was it Battlefield?
Battlefield's been up for a while.
Yeah, but Death Stranding has been in development for like almost 2 years.
Yeah, it has been. Unless it has to do with the expansion they put for Battlefield, which was
maybe,
I don't know,
but I mean, so I stand by Kojima though with his statement on that, because like even me, I don't even know what game to really look forward to now. I mean, I'm looking forward to Cyberpunk
2077.
Yeah.
And don't get me started on that, because all right, I'm started now.
It started.
So 2013. Right? That's when that's when CD Projekt Red brought out the trailer.
Right.
For Cyberpunk. And I was like, this is cool. Is this a movie? And it's like, no, it's a game. It's like, and it
was fucking pretty. It was pretty. Like Blade Runner status.
Yeah. And it's like, of course, it's based off of the tabletop of the same name but different year.
Right.
It has to be like, I think they said it was after the tabletop, like.
See, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, which is fine. It's like, okay. And I heard nothing until about
2 years ago? Right?
Roughly, yeah. I saw that it was just like one of those things where I saw on Twitter, and then I looked at everything else. I squealed like a prepubescent girl who like just saw their freaking pop idol in front of them, you know. And it was just like, I'm pre-ordering this shit. I don't give a fuck who you are.
So like, it's really, I'm mixed, right? Because I want to be excited for it, mainly because my husband's in it.
Of course.
God, I love Keanu Reeves.
That was the icing on the cake for me.
That man is the best human of all humans.
He is a wonderful individual.
But like, so I was the same as you when they showcased like the environment test for Cyber. I was like, this looks fucking awesome. I want to play it. I think what's turning me off from it is I don't know if it's a linear, like, single character RPG. So like I know, I'm assuming you're playing as the guy
or girl.
So is it a create your own character type of thing? So
yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was or not.
Yeah, no, I mean they show, depending on which one, because I remember they added another like hour of gameplay. They showed different versions, and like one of them was like the heavy hitter, which was the dude.
Yeah.
And then they had the cyber hacker, which was a girl, and everything else. And they said they were gonna do some character development and everything else.
That's cool. So that's one of the things that I'm kind of like, I don't know the information of, so I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to be invested in it. but I'm hoping that it is. The other thing is, I don't know if it's like if it's your own world or like if it's going to be a multiplayer experience, because from my understanding, when they showcased the original stuff back in 2013, it was supposed to be like this ever-changing environment with multiple people.
I do not know.
So
that I'd have to look at it in Project Red myself, but I know there was even a conversation with a friend of mine. He's like, everyone's overhyping Cyberpunk, man. Everyone's hoping. He's like, listen to me and listen to me very carefully. It's CD Projekt Red. They've had good success, such as with the Witcher series, and a few other I can't name off the top of my head, but it's just like, for me personally, they've exceeded my expectations. I don't really care. Probably when I get to it, I'll probably have some opinions on it. But as of right now, it's like
you will with every game.
Yeah, but as of right now, it's like it's exceeding mostly what I thought was going to be the game. That scared the shit out of me. And then when they had so much issues when they tried to have it where, all right, if you pre-order the game, you'll get like a statue, you'll get patches, stickers, and a booklet for the game, when it comes out. That was a shit show.
Oh, was it?
It was such a shit show because it's like they were saying, okay, it's only going to come out they're going to only release them for GameStop and a couple of other places. So it was like, okay. And then eventually they were going to release them for Target, Best Buy, and on their site.
Later down the line.
Yeah, later down the line. And I was like, I kept refreshing the page when they were going to do it for the Cyberpunk one. Uh-huh. It never happened. But it didn't happen for me for the North American one. But they did it weird. They had it very weirdly placed. For an example was if they did it through Best Buy, it wasn't just Cyberpunk 2077. It like had some other things in it for you to find it. It was bad.
That's weird.
It was just really bad. I was like, that's what made me kind of disappointed, but I was like, all right, well.
It's weird because I've never been a fan of pre-ordering games from a specific place to get stuff.
Yeah, that's
like right. That has always bugged me. Because I really feel like if you're gonna offer that, you should just be able to offer that in general. Like if someone wants the special edition of Halo 4, right? They should be able to buy that straight from Bungie. Rather than being like, oh, I have to go down to Walmart and pray to God that they have it in stock.
Well, that was the one thing I can say too. Well, like if you went on their site, they had all the links there, so you could check out, without having to actually drive.
See, that's cool. I like that. Yeah,
it was convenient.
There's a lot of people like me who's like, I don't even want to go down to a store to buy it.
Yeah.
Like, just let me buy it online. That way you can send it to me.
Yeah. So
hashtag modern consumer.
Right. I mean, that was a disappointment, but it's like life goes on. Then eventually someone was like, oh, Jesus. If someone knows me as a person, we'll say Balfour, for example, to show appreciation, I'll sometimes gift them games.
It like makes my heart so full.
There was one time I was like, you know what? I have a little bit left, and I was like wanting to get Cyberpunk, and there was like another group of friends that I'm really entwined with. We'll say it's like they were also talking about another excited. You know what? Here you go, man. Here's Cyberpunk, and all of a sudden, I didn't tell him at first. It was like, okay, that's and what I tend to do is distract them so that I can do it.
Right.
And all of a sudden, I just heard, "You fucker!"
You son of a bitch.
I was just like laughing, like, yeah, what you gonna do now?
Hey, that shit happened to me with you when we were playing. Fuck, what was it? We were playing. It wasn't Friday the 13th. It was the other horror game.
Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, we were playing Dead by Daylight, and I was like, "Fuck, this Friday the 13th game looks awesome." Yada yada yada, and it's like, "Ba-ding, you have a gift from Buddy." I was like, "You son of a bitch," because I was getting paid like that week or something.
Yeah,
but no, that is really cool because I know you, and I know that is your way of showing an appreciation, and it's something that I've always appreciated. That's the reason why my Steam library is so fucking huge.
And then 3 days later, I had that in my inventory.
Yep.
and 3 days later, and he goes, "Here you go," and I'm like, "You motherfucker."
You're like, yeah, and now I'm like, all right, now we can make Let's Plays.
Exactly.
Which it's a give and take. That's one of the fun things, but Yeah, I don't know. I'll play Cyberpunk probably on launch, and then hopefully I'll play it again one day.
If anything, you can just watch me stream it. If anything, because I'll probably what
if I can catch. Yeah, if I can get, because I know you were talking about you and two of your other friends were gonna.
Yeah, like do different.
At the same time, right?
Yeah,
that'd be really really cool. Yeah, let me know, that way I can catch it. Yeah, like other than Cyber, I don't know, because George got caught and it looks awesome. Like it just looks like COD.
Oh, COD. I heard got caught, and I was like, well, what?
Yeah, George got caught. No. He got Call of Duty, and it looks really pretty. I mean, it looks nice, but I don't know. I haven't been really invested in a Call of Duty game since before Black Ops came out.
That's fair. The only reason why I only like it for the fact that other YouTubers I watch make videos of it.
Yeah.
And the one thing I always will give you that bit of nostalgia, it's like every Call of Duty lobby back in the Xbox days.
Oh my god.
And nothing has changed.
Well, honestly, the internet hasn't changed much. I remember, running dungeons in Diablo 2.
Oh.
And I remember chats, like the typing chat, just being insane. Ever since then, it's been exactly the same. People are assholes to each other. Some are better than others, but you're always gonna have some douchebag. The only difference from back then, from when I can remember playing Diablo 2 to now, is that there's just more kids.
That's
literally the only difference, is that there's far more kids. I was playing. Oh, was it with you? Yeah, we were playing Friday the 13th,
and we actually had that. There
was a baby.
Someone had a baby in the background. All you could hear, I was like, then we're just like, is the baby playing the game? What's going on here?
Yeah.
Or just like when I tend to, I have a lot of fun with Friday the 13th, as you can tell.
Yeah, you role play it.
I like just like for example, if I'm Jason, I was like, listen, I just need myself a cup of sugar to get this party started, and just start murdering.
Yeah, you like break open the door
and everything. And then the one thing I don't like when it comes to a Jason player is they just beat the shit out of you with the weapon constantly. Yes, you'll get badges for it and everything, but have a little finesse. Be stylish.
Especially because every game lasts at least 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And honestly, that was my gripe with Dead by Daylight as well. Is like just the people who are playing as the enemies. It's not fun when they just can't
stare at you
and like I understand that is a strategy. I get that. But it makes it less fun for everyone involved.
Yep.
Like, don't you want a little bit of the challenge, or are you just literally going to play just to be a dick?
Yeah, so I was making the joke of like 6 out of 10 Jason player, you could use more finesse, and people thought I was mad.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm not mad. Yeah. I'm just like, I was just stating an opinion and just like turned it like, fuck you.
Yeah, everyone like turned on you real fast.
And then it was just like, you keep talking shit, I'm going to eat your ass. I was like, and here we go. Yep. Back to the internet.
Yep. But it turned around pretty quickly because, like, I can't remember that guy's name.
Big Cheese.
Yeah, Big Cheese.
He was a good guy.
He was a dick at first because, like, that whole comment. But then, like, he turned around and I was like, all right, cool.
All right, he's good.
Cool. Yeah. And then that, like, Zarter person came in.
The Stone Twink.
I was like, what the fuck is this guy?
That was so stupid. I don't know why.
I was so happy that we had to leave after that one match because I was like, oh, I can't deal with this guy.
It was so bad. It's just it was just, I can't. It was just all bad. He expected everybody else to do work while he was just there.
I'm just pissed off that he survived.
I wanted him to die so much.
Did I.
But it was just fuck.
Yeah, so for those who don't know what we're talking about, there's a video game called Friday the 13th, which is based off of the film franchise Friday the 13th. And essentially, you can either play as a counselor, like a camp counselor, or you play as Jason. If you're playing as Jason, obviously you're going for kills. If you're counselors, then you have to find ways to survive. You can start a vehicle, like a boat or a car, call the cops, call Tommy. What the fuck is Tommy's last name?
Jarvis.
Tommy Jarvis, to come and save the day. What else can you do? I think that's it, right?
You can call cops. And if there is one way too, if you can get Jason's mom's sweater with specific characters, you can kill him that way.
Yeah, you can actually kill Jason, but there's like a couple of steps that you have to do.
Someone has to be Tommy. Tommy has to be on the map.
Mm-hmm.
You what a specific character, female character, has to get the sweater, and his mask has to be off.
Yeah.
It's just it's a pain, but it's like it's worth it.
Someone needs to stun him, and then like you can beat him to death or something like that.
Nah,
it's crazy, but it's a super super fun game.
It's fun. It's not serious in any shape or form. It's just a game where you can have fun with. For example, they have it to where if you remember the old NES game of the same name, you could play as Purple Jason, and it plays 8-bit music when he's around.
It's so fucking cool too.
It's great.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like when it's just regular Jason, the music totally freaks me out because I'm a little chicken shit. But like when you're playing as 8-bit Jason, I'm like, oh shit, he's around. But also I'm like, yeah, I want to listen to this. Like, Jason, just come here real quick.
Go ahead and choke me.
Yeah. But no, it's a super super fun game. Hopefully we can jump on it again soon because that was a lot of fun when we were playing. Also, I want to see what the controller support is like again because I hate playing with a mouse and keyboard on that.
I enjoy it. And then again, I also do play a lot of games that are controller supported, such as Mad Max. I never play that game on a keyboard.
I've never played Mad Max.
I mean,
is that the one with the weird digital version of Mark Wahlberg? Or am I thinking of something else?
It don't look like
I
Mark
know
Wahlberg.
I'm not crazy. I
It
know.
does not look like no Mark Wahlberg. What you mean?
But Mark Wahlberg wasn't a Mad Max movie, right?
I don't know. But if anything, I don't know. But it's just basically a free roaming vehicle game where you grind the fuck out of everything.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Max Payne.
Max Payne. You know, I wanted to like the movie. I couldn't. No, because granted, I shouldn't have played Max Payne at a young age. I did. There was a specific level in Max Payne where you're going through his memories and you just hear like a woman crying and the baby crying, and you have to like go through dark ways to. Long story short, that terrified me as a kid. But it was still a interesting game. When the movie came, I was like, all right, cool. Watch like 20 minutes. I don't like it. Because it's not the story. Like, where the fuck does, like, these angels or whatever this thing is in the movie is just where does this come from? No.
I don't know. That's one of the things that makes me really annoyed with a lot of, like, large productions. When they just take a beloved franchise and then they just shit on the story. Like, they take away everything that's cool about the story.
Yeah.
Or at least intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how... Oh, yeah, because you were talking about Mad Max. Mm-hmm. Mad Max is the, like, post-apocalyptic thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because there was a new one that came out, like, in, like, 2016. Right?
Oh, Fury Road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that good?
Well...
I'm not into the post-apocalyptic thing, so...
Well, if anyone remembers the old Mel Gibson movies of the... it wasn't called Mad Max. It was called The Road Warrior.
Yeah. Those are the same...
Yeah.
Universes?
Technically.
Weird.
But Fury Road was different. I don't know how they did the story for this because I don't remember much of the movies to begin with. It's been so long. I actually might rewatch them at some point. Just but, yeah, really. Welcome to the Thunderdome. Anyways.
Rick and Morty.
But I forget the characters that played Max.
In the new one?
Yeah, he's a Englishman. He was the one that played Bane in Nolan's universe.
Oh, the crap. Tom
Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
He didn't do bad. He actually did pretty decent for a Mad Max. But it was just... I think it's really hit and miss with a lot of things because Road Warrior is supposed to be like... And it was all filmed in Australia. The entire movies from the first Road Warrior to up to Fury Road was all filmed in Australia.
That's actually really cool. There's a lot of desert there, so...
Yeah. Northern Territories. But most of them just sounded like normal. They had like British ones. It's like,
oh, that's weird.
It was kind of threw you off a little bit. The ones that would really have the like kind of the Aussie twang was the Bullet Boys or whatever those guys were painted white.
Huh.
But it was alright film. But
let's go get him, governor.
no, please no.
But I don't know. Just I there's something about post-apocalyptic that I just can't get behind. And I don't know why. It's like that whole specific genre. The only post-apocalyptic story that I probably have ever thoroughly enjoyed was probably the Book of Eli.
Okay, no, that is fair. That was
with Denzel Washington.
That was actually a really good movie.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Like, it was cool seeing like the currency and stuff. Like, it's kind of like the whole Fallout thing, like with the bottle claps and stuff. Like, I thought that was really cool. But for some reason, my brain can't like I know it's just so far out there.
Yeah. That
it just can't. I can't wrap my head around it. Like, that's even like the Division 2. Like, there's like an outbreak and like everyone's dying and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
We watched I Am Legend. That was an okay movie.
Yeah, that was.
So I guess that's
decent.
Technically post-apocalyptic,
yeah,
right?
Because he's like the only person in this. Well, in that area surrounded by light phobic people.
Yeah, because there's still people. That's what I was trying to explain to her too. I was like, this is like the people. They're still human, but they're just like deteriorating humans.
Yeah, I forget what it was, but it was like it had something to do with some type of virus that just mutated into something where it's just like they can't handle certain things and they turn into that, but they're still people. Another one down the apocalypse train was The Road. It was a psychological movie.
Is that the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No, it was.
I'm thinking of Maggie. Never mind.
Huh? Anyways, but basically what it was that I can remember was like a dad and his son who's like probably like 8, 9, or 10 and everything, and they're out trying to survive in this end of the world thing. And one of the things that always that stays embedded in your head is like, if they know they're not gonna make it out alive or they're not gonna survive, dad pulls out a gun and just like, I will shoot you, or you shoot me and then you shoot yourself.
Fuck, dude.
And it was just like, well, there was one point they didn't want to do it. You're gonna fucking do it. I'm just like, why am I watching this movie? No.
See, that's awesome though, because that's kind of like the scene at the end of The Mist.
Yeah. I don't want
where
to
it's
talk
like
about
where everyone just like stops, and I want to talk about that because I think that is one of the greatest scenes ever.
Just 5 more minutes. No, we're all dying.
If you guys have never seen The Mist, it's based off the Stephen King novel. Mm-hmm. And huge spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. If you have, you know what I'm talking about. At the very end, the family makes it out of the city, and they don't know what else to do. They essentially have given up, and they agree. The man is going to shoot his wife, his son, his daughter.
Mm-hmm. His wife, and he had a son.
And the grandparents, right?
No. So the old people were just.
Come here.
Yeah, now you're part of it.
B likes this scene, so she can explain a little bit. Right here.
Oh, like right in there.
Yeah. Here. I mean, you can just come over here and talk.
That's such a spoiler. Anyway, so it's just 2 random old people, some random lady, and his kid.
Is it a random?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all.
His wife dies.
Yeah, his wife died in the shopping mart or whatever.
Yeah. So anyway, he shoots them and then runs out of bullets, and he's left
He knew he was out of bullets. He had to make the choice, and he was going to sacrifice himself to the creatures, and he killed everybody else to save them from the creatures.
And then lo and behold,
he gets rescued, and then
the
he's
U.S. Army comes just. It is such a gut-wrenching scene too, because you're like, oh.
It's almost like the scene in I Am Legend when Will Smith has to kill his dog.
That's a really sad scene, actually.
Yeah.
B actually cried.
I was. That's one of the scenes where I have to look away. Just like, no, I can't.
It's so rough, man, because it's like he's just there consoling
that was his companion and everything else, and just like, No.
You know
move
what?
on.
It's all Fred's fault. Is it Fred?
Fred.
Is that the mannequin's name? When they make the trap for him?
I think so.
What are you doing, Fred?
That was so stupid.
Fred, if you're alive, tell me now. No, but there are some good stuff.
I remember they tried to make a TV show out of The Mist, like to expand more on it.
See, that'd be cool.
But it didn't work out well.
But here's my problem with stuff like that. Is like television is completely different than like movies. So it's very hard to continue a story like that that's condensed into weekly episodes. Because every single week you need to find a compelling story. Whether it's with individual characters or with like a driving plot. So I can see why that kind of failed. I guess a good example is the Sarah Connor Chronicles from Terminator.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So I think it lasted like 6 seasons.
Holy shit.
But it was good. But the reason why is because you're expanding on a character that one has previous knowledge of what has occurred and future knowledge of what is about to happen. So you already have a driving force where every single week that character has a goal to accomplish. With The Mist, I think the biggest thing about The Mist is the mystery. And if you've already seen the movie, the show would kind of not necessarily be redundant, but I can see it getting old really fast. Even if you had like, say you had like a mother and a son, or a mother and whatever, right? Being the main focus and them just running away the entire time. I can see that potentially being interesting, but I can also see that falling flat really, really fast. Without there being like new things being thrown in your direction, but without fucking up the original continuity. That's why I really enjoy what's happening with The Mandalorian right now, because
Still need to watch it.
I'm not gonna say any spoilers, but the continuity is not even being touched in the sense of like there's any interruption with any type of timeline.
Okay.
Because all of this is happening in like the outer reaches of the solar system.
Okay. That makes
But
sense.
it's established that like the Empire has fallen. So it's like you have a general idea of what's happening. Because this happens 5 years after Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
So there's this weird, huge amount of time in between 6 and 7 that you can expand on, and they're going to different planets in the galaxy. So I think that's why it does really well, because it's not gripped by a timeline. It's not gripped by certain events that have to lead to.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I'm reluctant to play the Fallen Order.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah. Because it's supposed to take place between 3 and 4, which means whatever happens in the story has to eventually lead somewhere. Regardless of what happens. Whether it's in like the outer reaches or whatever, it has to connect to something in the story. But I digress. I hear it's a fucking amazing game.
Oh, that's one of the games on my list where I have to get it.
Yeah. I'm sure I'll get it eventually. I'm sure it's a great game. The way I'm looking at this game is the way that I looked at The Force Unleashed. It's interesting. It's not interesting enough for me to pay full price for it yet.
That's fair.
And I feel bad saying that as someone who enjoys supporting artists. But it's one of those games where I personally can't cough up $60 for something that I may not be interested in, which makes me sad because it's a Star Wars thing and I love Star Wars.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. If you guys enjoy it, let me know what you think of it. If not, please let me know what you think of it. That way I can get some opposing opinions. But I think we're going to cut it short for tonight. So, Buddy, what you got for this week's TV movie suggestion?
Well, I was going to say one, but I'll say that one later. But this one is going to be Revolution.
Revolution.
Yeah. So what it is, it's because we were talking about post-apocalyptic stuff. So what this is, the entire world loses power. I'm talking electric, solar, nuclear. What it just all.
So just like any type of electricity, any type of
electronics, was just shut down, and so
massive EMP.
Yes, because of something I don't remember what they explained it, but. And then everyone has to like kind of go back to like the olden times, like you got blacksmiths, people doing lumber yards and all this stuff. There's like a dictatorship. You're not allowed to have firearms of any kind. So even if it's like a one-shot flintlock pistol from like a Revolutionary War, you can't use it.
All right, so right wings, be careful.
Yeah, but I will say the choreography for this, because they have some good sword fighting. Like they made a joke about it when they were doing flashbacks. It's like they say, we're gonna run out of ammunition. We're gonna have to go to swords. It's like, yeah, what kind of shit would that be? And then they go. Then all of a sudden they had like sword fighting, but it was actually really good.
So what is this on?
Shit. I remember they had it on. What was it? No, it was on some TV's broadcasting. I can't remember what. It was like a FX or something. One of those two.
Okay, it's called Revolution.
Yeah, Revolution. But the and then the O is like a power button.
What do you know what year it came out?
2015.
I don't see it on here.
Give me a second here.
I'm on IMDb and I'm trying to find it because it sounds really cool.
Yeah. Maybe it was 2011.
I see one that's in 1985 with
Oh,
Al
God.
Pacino.
I looked up the wrong thing.
Revolution.
Where is it? Yeah, American television series came out. First episode was in 2012. NBC.
Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay. Revolution. 15 years after a permanent global blackout. That's pretty cool. Who's in this? I know this guy. Giancarlo Esposito. He was in fucking that really crappy Harry Potter movie. Fantastic Beasts. Elizabeth Mitchell.
Yep, Elizabeth Mitchell.
She's hot.
Billy Burke.
Don't we agree she's hot?
David Lyons. Zach Orth.
Wow, actually has a good cast.
Stephen Collins.
I'll have to check this out because it sounds really cool. Add it to my list.
And what about you, my friend?
So for this week, I was trying to debate whether I wanted to. Actually, I'll just talk about it.
Okay.
So one of my favorite Disney Channel original movies, as well as Bees, is The 13th Year. It's the story about this kid who, on his 13th birthday, begins to grow scales and whatnot because he's actually a mermaid.
Oh, I think I remember this.
Yeah, so
deep in the vaults of my memory.
Yeah, it's cool. I think it's a really cool concept. God, the acting is horrible. The acting
Disney
is
for you.
So bad. Like the supporting actors are way better than the main actor. But that's not my main recommendation, but that is one of my recommendations.
What's your main one?
So my main recommendation is actually going to be... Oh, my stomach.
Is
going to be The Clone Wars.
The show or the movie?
The movie. The reason why I'm bringing that up
Wait. Because there's two Clone War movies. You're talking about the one from
LucasArts? I'm talking about the live action.
Okay, because I thought you were talking about the cartoon one. I was like, don't you dare.
We don't talk about the cartoon one. Though I will say the first cartoon iteration of those were fucking cool.
Of the Clone Wars?
Yes.
Back in 2003, wasn't it?
Yes. Those were fucking... The one that the movie is based on.
Yes.
Those were fucking awesome.
Yes.
And then we got this weird CGI ones, which were okay.
And then after that came the show, which was even better.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so the live action version. The reason why is because as a Star Wars fan, I need people to see how fucking ridiculous they made R2-D2 and C-3PO in that movie.
Sure.
It is stupid. I hate that movie to death because of how they ruined those two characters. And because of that, I need people to suffer in 2 hours and 10 minutes of just flabbergasting concepts, as well as the stupid Yoda Dooku fight. because that scene makes zero sense to me as well.
We don't talk about that
Why?
at all.
Well, you don't want to see like a 2,000 flips to do 2 shots with your lightsaber?
No. I want to see that. I'd watch episode 3 with Palpatine.
Oh, God. Yeah, that whole... I like 3, but that whole fight scene is just ridiculous. He's frail! Both of them are frail.
That's the power of the Force, man. You especially when you hold it for so
But the
long.
the whole reason
No,
why
I
Yoda
understand.
was cool was because he didn't have to fucking lift shit. George Lucas. I was saying to be like, I appreciate George Lucas for when he was making the originals because he was like, I want to make what I want to make, and like he wasn't listening to studios or whatever. I appreciate that back then. What the fuck was he thinking with 1 through 3? Like really, like I have so many problems with the prequels. The whole midichlorian bullshit totally ruined
That
so
was
much.
that I will agree to. The adding midichlorians. No.
Every creature has a certain amount, but this boy, his midichlorian count is out of this world.
No, just just say they're Force sensitive. Leave it at that.
Yeah,
Make it a mystery.
That was so much cool. Like that was way cooler than being like, I don't know. We got to measure his midichlorian count now.
It's just like no, just say Force sensitive. And if like you can maybe they could have changed it where like he actually may have used his powers at a young age that most people don't control yet.
Yeah, see,
then that would have been cool.
Yeah.
No, let me take your blood. Chlorine levels. Oh my god! It's like Liam Neeson. No, don't do this.
And let's not even mention that weird razor thing that he had as a communicator. There was a lot of weird production things that happened in the prequels that made no sense to me.
And I can't really talk shit either because I used to have a Naboo fighter like alarm clock.
That's fucking cool. Well, see, like, so the Naboo fighters made sense.
Yeah,
Like, that was cool. Like, a lot of the ships made sense. What I always had a problem with was, like, the clone troopers. Don't get me wrong. Clone troopers look cool, right? I don't understand.
mighty thin ice. You're tripping on me.
I don't understand how you go from color coding, like, your sergeants, your lieutenants and stuff, and then in the future have absolutely no ranking at all.
That is a fair point. The only thing I can really explain on through with the sum of my knowledge from the expanded universe, they still kept certain things, just not a lot of things, because again, it's under new management. It's like, nah, you want to be a commander or whatever. It's like you'll have like what the ARC troopers used to have, like that weird like padding or something.
Yeah,
or they'll have like that thing protruding.
See, that makes sense to me. But when you go from, all right, so there's a legion of.
The final first.
Yeah. You don't see anything other than regular stormtroopers. You have the black stormtroopers, what are pilots, the pilot troopers.
TIE fighters or the shadow troopers or
Right.
the death troopers.
And then you have the Imperial Guard.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally it. So that's my biggest gripe from like going from the prequels, and then you have an even bigger army, but then don't have like stations for people.
The way how they did things was really.
Well, another thing for me is, how do you go from colored ships, like colored, like warships,
Okay.
to Star Destroyers?
Well, to be
So
to be fair, yeah, there have been a few ships that resembled Star Destroyers. They just built them bigger.
okay, which is fine. I'm totally cool with. But my problem is you don't go from high tech color to moody gray. Like there's like a huge discrepancy there.
It was a dark time in Lucasfilms.
Well, listen, yeah, from 2000 to 2006, there's a huge issue. But I think that's why I really like episodes 7 and 8. Well, I don't like 8, but I like the aesthetic of 7 and 8 because they kept it within its same realm of what happened after 6. Like the new I think they're called AT-ETs?
Oh, the ones that were like going through the
elephant ones.
Yeah.
Like the ones that actually look like elephants now.
Yeah.
Like those actually look like the scheme on the outside is like a metallic black, right? But there's no color. Like that's why I think I'm like really cool with it, because it's like there's that whole very imperialistic look, very simple, straightforward. This is what it is. As well as like their grids and stuff. Like it has that weird like 1980s future grid looking stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like it's just, I think it's more continuity that I'm focusing on more than anything else. Like the continuity from 1 to 3 just made, in its own world, made sense, but in the Star Wars universe made zero sense to me. But what can I say? Things exist already. People love the prequels, and those people are wrong.
They're completely wrong. There's no way I can defend them. And this is coming from a guy who watched Phantom Menace in theaters.
Hey, so did I. Represent.
Yeah.
I went to the midnight shows of 1, 2, and 3.
You sad man.
Yeah. Sorry, Mom. You wasted your money.
The funny thing is I saw the first one in theaters. I had someone burn the second one on VHS.
Oh my god! Remember having to do that, dude? I remember having to do that with VHSs when Toonami would come out, like to watch DBZ.
Yeah,
we would stay up, press record while it was on, press stop when the commercials were on, and then press record again. Good times. Rest in peace, VHS. You were good while you lasted. All right, thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. Don't forget to... Oh my god, what happened to my monitor? My monitor just went all creepy. Don't forget to subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts. We will be back next week for another episode. Buddy, do you have any farewell words?
People like grapes.
People like grapes. All right, guys, see you next week. Bye.